Hey everybody, Rob Orgel from Silencer Syndicate, and it is a beautiful Arizona night at 78 degrees, and today's high was in the mid-80s, and sometimes I forget that the rest of this country sees snow and all these other things that aren't fun. I was just visiting Missouri and I got reminded of that. So here we are in this beautiful Arizona weather, filming for you guys, and I wanted to do a couple things with this video. One, our last muzzle flash test at night, there was some great comments and some great concerns too, where people were asking, the Print XH, the new suppressors, how many rounds have been through them? Have they been seasoned? And I believe at that time we had put around somewhere between 300 and 500 rounds through each suppressor. Since then, I've used them as rentals, so I've had my clients put a bunch more rounds through them. I would say they're each over 1,000 now. So we wanted to repeat the test, and somebody else made a comment, hey, why didn't you do some backwards prototype? Show us the last generation compared to the new generation. That was a really good idea that I had not thought of. So here we are out here to do that. And I also wanted to wrap in the APC 223 because it is, one of my favorite AR-15 style of gun, because they took all the AR-15 problems and just engineered them away with all the ambi stuff that I like, and a forward charger and a bufferless system and a low recoil. It is just really one of my favorites. I originally had the 9-inch, now I've got the 12-inch, and as you see, there's an ASR on the end here. It is in Form 1, status pending kind of thing. Oh, I'm sorry, this one got approved already. Even though it got approved, I had to put a brace, a stock that I had. I don't have the B&T stock, and in perfect fashion, it got overnighted today, so tomorrow I'm going to have the correct stock. But other than that, she's up to date on her 401 and all that good stuff. There's an elongated handguard that B&T is releasing, and that will make this look a little bit more appropriate, in my opinion. But overall, I really like this gun for a whole ton of reasons. It looks way better with the correct stock, and it is just a soft shooting gun. Now, this has two settings from my recollection, and I played with it earlier during its break-in time. Oh, three settings, I'm sorry. My previous one had only one suppressed, one unsuppressed, and I believe it said like 1 and 1.3 or something at the top. 1.3 was for unsuppressed, 1 was for suppressed, and I found that that paired very well with the full back pressure suppressors. Now, this guy has a 1.0, 1.2, and a 1.1, and I called in and said, like, hey, that order sounds like standard, adverse, and suppressed. And the answer is yes, standard, adverse, and suppressed. But instead of 1.3, because of the longer barrel, it's 1.1, 1.2, and 1.0. Now, only shaving off, the 1.1 at first was green tip, and it didn't really like the 55 grain stuff. It wouldn't hold open on the last round. Now that it's broken in and this rifle has seen, I don't know, a couple thousand rounds, now 1.1 is fully reliable after its break-in. 1.2 is the adverse, which I almost never use. And then 1.0, I'm finding even with low back pressure suppressors, that's a really good setting. So on kind of these SRBS suppressors that reduce back pressure and only shaving off essentially 10% of that gas really pairs very well. If you have a full back pressure suppressor, you're going to feel increased recoil. You're going to see it kind of ejecting forward again. That's just, they made this around their low back pressure suppressors, because the Rotec suppressors are the completely sealed, more bolt action friendly type suppressors. And then the flow through design is much more for their piston and semi-automatic systems. And of course, they've got a new line that we have some on the way for testing we're very excited about. But I think a lot of people complain very fairly that they bought the Silencer Shop Print X suppressor, and then right after that, they released their next update. And then right after that, they released their Print XH. And everybody kind of felt like they bought their new laptop just in time to get home and see they released a new laptop or new model car. I asked B&T about that, and their answer was, you've got last year's F-150. It's still a good truck, or Chevy. Hey, if you're a Chevy guy or a Ford guy, let me know in the comments section. I hear that's a healthy debate. And I'll let you also take a guess at what kind of truck you think I like. If you get that right, maybe there'll be a reward. We'll figure that out later. All right, if you're a Chevy Ford guy, you might argue over which one's better. And in the end, it's still a good truck. It's last year's model, but it's still a good truck. And that's their opinion of that. So I've tested the snot of this. I think you guys have seen me run this full auto, run it at night. These newer iterations, particularly this guy, really catches my fancy because it's a titanium, all titanium. The Print XH, the H is hybrid, where they're mixing 3 different metalloids. And if I recall correctly, it's mostly titanium. It's got an Inconel blast baffle and a stainless steel end cap. And they're able to taper the edges and come up with all these really cool science wizardry things to make it low back pressure and very lightweight. It is a little bit more in weight than the full titanium, of course. So if nighttime muzzle flash is a thing for you, then you would consider the Print X-H if it performs tonight. If you say, well, I don't really care about muzzle flash at night, I really just care about keeping it light, I believe it's like 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces lighter to get the fully titanium one. So both of these still have their merit. Now, full disclosure, these are the hybrids, so you already know the metalloids. This is a titanium, this compact is an Inconel, and then the Print X from Silencer Shop, that's also an Inconel. And you can see it's kind of got a darker color to it. This is their standard color, and then I believe this is a Silencer Shop special as well. It came with a Silencer Shop mount and some other things. So now that we're fully seasoned, you've gotten my opinions on the APC 223 and 12-inch that I'm pretty darn nuts about. I kind of miss my 9-inch. I really love that one. Maybe I'll see if I can get my hands on one of those too. And then also because I'm a nut job and a junkie, I want the 16-inch so I can take it legally coyote hunted in Arizona, because we have to technically have a 16-inch barrel for hunting predators and mountain lions and that kind of stuff. So I'd like to have a 16. So I'm a nut. I want all the guns is the easy answer. But right now, this is what I got, and we're going to run it through some muzzle flash testing at night. My theories, I know this performs well. I've already tested it. Inconel kind of does well at night. The Inconel Compact, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't do great because it's a compact suppressor. The titanium full size, I think we all expect that to not do great. And then the Print X-H's, you know, they really didn't do all that great on the first test. I'm hoping they do even better on this test. And as you guys always ask, what kind of ammo? We usually use PMC X-Tac 55 grain FMJ BT. However, today we're doing green tip because we wanted to make the test a little bit harder. And green tip is definitely more difficult to control that concussion wave. So once we get our B-roll, we'll kick off some muzzle flash tests, starting with the ASR and then work our way from left to right through these suppressors. All right, guys, stay tuned. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, do all the happy YouTube things that make YouTube understand that what we're doing is good information, it's free, and you're appreciating it like we appreciate you appreciating us. Thank you, and we'll get into it. All righty, we've got green tip going in unsuppressed. Just to establish a baseline, she's going to be loud and there's going to be some flash. Couple additions, we liked how it went last time with just the constant rolling and the banter about what I see and what Damien sees from a 90-degree angle. In addition, I'm going to add a flashlight so it's a little bit more realistic to what we're going to see. So light's going to go on, it's going to look like that. All right, here we go, first 3 rounds. Obviously, that was a lot of muzzle flash, but it shot very soft. Okay, so that's a good baseline established. I'm going to leave it in the full gas setting. That's 1.1. I'm not going to choke it down to 1.0 as we're switching through suppressors. I don't think it'll matter that much anyways. This is the full-size Print X, and this was the Silencer Shop one, the kind of gray one, that original model. Here we go. What's interesting is using the flashlight, I'm seeing that like white smoke coming out more than I'm seeing muzzle flash. Did you see muzzle flash?
I didn't see any muzzle flash.
You saw none. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the white gases from the flashlight, which I think that's a much more realistic test because, I mean, if you're at night, you should be running the light in order to see what you're shooting at. And if it was that much brighter here, then the muzzle flash would be even less of a thing. Okay, this is the full size, and this is, you know, that slightly updated B&T Print X, and this is the titanium. So this one should have some muzzle flash. I saw no muzzle flash.
I only saw muzzle flash on the first round. After that, it was nothing.
I think I'm going to repeat that test soon, and maybe I'm just going to not use the flashlight.
Yeah.
Maybe we're only seeing muzzle flash in the absence of a flashlight.
Well, yeah, that would make sense because
it makes sense, but it almost doesn't make sense because anytime you're doing nighttime, you either have night vision or a flashlight when you're engaging.
Yeah, people are going to bring in the question of night vision in that equation.
Well, I mean, those of you who are following the channel may or may not know that I have a few sets of night vision, and I certainly could put on night vision on my face. Yes, I have clip-on night vision that can go in front of a scope, and that would look good too, but getting it through the camera, I mean, that's a big challenge. Okay, so this is the Print X Titanium Compact. I saw a little bit of sparks.
Yeah, just a little bit of sparks on the first round. After that, it was just a small little cone of fire.
We're going to have to, I mean, these are all performing really great with the addition of the white light, of course. Okay, Inconel Tiny coming off. Okay, this is the Print XH Compact. And this is the one specifically designed for muzzle flash reduction. And now we've got over 1,000 rounds through her, so she's very well seasoned. Okay, light going on. I saw a huge muzzle flash on 2.
I saw all 3 and the most muzzle flash so far.
Really?
Yes.
Well, to me, like 1 looked okay, 2 looked bad, and then 3 looked, okay.
It was interesting. It was like a jet of fire coming out, and then it expanded a little bit, and then it slimmed down, and it went.
Mushroom cloud.
Yeah, kind of like a mushroom cloud, just extending out past that.
So I want to repeat the titanium full size,
Yeah.
the non-Print-X titanium, or the Print-X non-H. And I want to not use the flashlight because this should be like the sparkiest one. So I want to do it without the flashlight and just see if we can see more of a delta. Okay, no flashlight. That wasn't bad.
No, like first round, yes, there was a lot. Second round, barely. Third round, almost nothing.
I didn't see anything from behind the gun. I saw no muzzle flash. Okay, so now let's hop over to the Print XH full size. And I guess I'll do no flashlight 3, and then I'll turn the flashlight on and do 3.
Okay.
Last round, new mag. I saw a little bit of flash, a little bit of sparks, but not bad at all. What'd you see?
I'd say overall, compared to the first round on the titanium, it was better, but then it didn't improve the way the titanium did. Like by round 3, the titanium was almost nothing. This was consistent throughout.
So this one performed like good throughout. The titanium is kind of intermittent.
Yeah, the titanium was like kind of bad first round, and then second and third got noticeably better.
Interesting. Okay, let's run the light. I just saw white gas. I saw no muzzle flash.
Yeah, it was mainly first round, and then second and third round are barely noticeable.
Yeah, it sure is a game changer to turn that light on. And this is the Surefire Scout single cell. So it's only like a 300 lumen. It's not incredibly bright or anything. And it goes from, instead of seeing, the fiery muzzle flash, to seeing the white gases more than anything else. Just for a fair comparison, the Velos 5.56 full size did really good on our previous shoot. So I figured we'll incorporate that in this test just the same, just see what happens. We'll do 3 without light and then 3 with light, since I think first round pop really will shine better without the light. So shot 1, I saw a tiny bit of muzzle flash. 2 and 3, I saw nothing.
Yeah, shot 1, I saw a good amount. Obviously, I'm standing more at a quarter angle where I can see the front of the
Yeah, for those who can't see Damon, which is all of you, he's not 90 degrees. He's 90 degrees and a little bit forward. So he's getting a little bit more enemy perspective-ish, other bad guy in the room perspective, not friendly fighter online with. He's more to my, I don't know, 2 o'clock position.
Yeah.
And what, like 10 foot back, so it's safe, of course.
Yeah.
But he's getting a much better view than I am. My right eye picks up a little bit of muzzle flash on that first shot. But from my left eye, I saw, my eyes, I'm ambidextrous, so for me, I can use both eyes in a weird kind of way, like the bend aiming concept. Anyways, let's put the light on and see if we notice a difference on that. No muzzle flash for any of them.
I got first and then barely anything for the second and third round. So
interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, so takeaways from this video. The titanium has intermittent flash. The Print XH has pretty consistently lower flash, but it's not necessarily competing with the Inconel priors.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah. So this guy being mostly Inconel or all Inconel, I think. I mean, it's 3D printed, but I think it's all Inconel. And then that Inconel Print X, that silencer shot, the first one, that did really good. And there's a couple thousand rounds. Clients have used it too, so there might be 4,000 or 5,000 rounds through it. So maybe the seasoning period is more than 1,000 rounds, but I mean, I'm thousands into these guys. The Ks both didn't do all that good, did they?
No.
Yeah.
And I'd say also, what are we trying to accomplish? I mean, if it's, from 10 feet away, but if someone's 100 yards away, I don't know if they would even see much at all.
Yeah, somebody made a comment, and I want to hit that comment, and that is, it'd be cool to have a camera 50 or 100 yards downrange. And, NFA Review Channel, he does a version of that. And I think that's a good idea for how, it sounds from far away, kind of. It's hard to tell with cameras, but for muzzle flash, that would be really hard to capture from 50 yards away.
Yeah, I don't think someone would see much at all.
I don't think somebody would see much, and through the lens of the camera, I think it would be very difficult with the low light situation to get that set up, get down here, get those shots off, and capture it in the way we think we might maybe be able to capture it. So I don't know that that's going to be feasible. I think the next best thing, and I want you guys to tell me in the comment section, please, one, which suppressors look best to you? Which do you think perform the best? And two, do you want us to do a version of this where I wear night vision and maybe Damien wears night vision, or one of us or both of us can wear night vision? Yes, we've got night vision. Yes, we've got thermals. Mounting it to a camera is surprisingly difficult. There's a couple things we might be able to do, but from the dialogue perspective of what we're seeing, I'm not sure the camera, because I looked at that last video and we're like, wow, that was bad. And then the camera angle is like, well, that didn't look so bad. That kind of looked like there was no muzzle flash. Like the camera doesn't capture the Huxwork sparks all that well.
Well,
We see it.
it's a frame rate issue, and also it's like tuning for exactly what the human eye sees in low light versus what cameras aren't built for low light.
Yeah.
So it's kind of self-defeating.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say the Velos 556 full size did the best for tonight.
I agree.
I'm going to say that the Printex H's were right in the crossbreed between Inconel and titanium.
Yeah,
So
middle.
they hit their intended design. It's light like titanium, but it's muzzle flash closer to Inconel, but not quite Inconel.
Yeah.
And the Inconels perform the best with the exception of the K because it's a K.
I agree.
Cool. All right, guys, if you like this video and you like us staying out late and hiding from our wives so that we can get home and get in trouble and hide in the bar, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate your guys' support. We love sharing what we're finding. We love the support that you're giving us and helping us grow. It truly means the world to us. I think we're about to hit 2 million views because of you all. So thank you again so much. As always, stay safe, and we will see you in the comments section.